What's going on, everybody? It's your man Chuck Creekmer, aka Jigsaw. All hip hop's in the building with my man
DJ Thorough, aka Thorough Zano, Brits to the streets. Let's go.
and we are here with a professional, a hidden figure. I think a hidden figure is fair to say. Uncle Ray Copeland,
Ray.
who most notably was the manager of DMX, who was his nephew, but also the Locks, jazz singer Ronnie Jordan. Sorry, Ron.
No relation to Michael Jordan.
No relation to Michael Jordan. The Locks, Drag On,
Parlay,
Eve at some point.
yeah, all the Bloodline artists.
All the Bloodline art.
Yuck Mouth from LA.
Yuck Mouth from the Loonies.
The Loonies. You're from
Yeah,
the Bay Area.
The
right?
Loonies, yeah.
Yeah,
Yuck Mouth.
Yuck Mouth.
With D4L, not D. Yeah, D4L landing them for a while.
Fable.
Yeah, Fable and all.
Fable, yeah.
Nah, that's what's up. First of all, man, thank you for coming through. Like,
Love.
I was talking to you the other day, and we were talking about my history, AllHipHop's history with DMX, and that AllHipHop came out on the scene in '98, the same year X hit the scene, and I can honestly say that being there at the beginning, at least that part,
Yes.
that part of the beginning, because I do have Born Loser
Mm-hmm.
before that.
Rough House.
Yeah. And he helped greatly to put us on the map because he was so hot at that point, and we had him first in the internet space.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So I wanted to start things off. We're going to get into all the different stories and things, but let's start, before we go into your own personal history, let's talk about X a little bit and your relationship with him. His life story's been told a few times. Smokey Fontaine wrote a book about his life.
We're all involved in the book writing.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I tried to change back to where it shouldn't have been. And
What you mean?
The whole story with his mom, he embellished it.
Really?
So 10 to 12 years before he passed, they had the best relationship in the world. He said, Uncle Ray, I know you happy now. And I said, hell yeah, because you lied.
Wow. You said that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Told him he lied.
So what exactly did he embellish on?
Everything. His sister's like, how can we grow up in the same house and we didn't experience what you experienced? Yes, he went to the group home.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he stayed there, but all the other stuff, and the sister's like, well, who beat you? You got beaten like a kid did, but you didn't get crazy,
So are you saying he was trying to exaggerate the story a bit to make it sellable?
My nephew was very good at exaggerating the truth.
No way. Get out of here.
That's why he used to cry on the drop of a dime. I said, oh, he's in his acting mode, but that was him.
We were watching a video of him earlier rapping. He had hair. So, like 90. It was like
that's
90.
when he was hanging around with Superior. They was doing
snap.
parties and things back in School Street when he was in and out of jail and running around the streets doing his little things and stuff. But yeah, he had a hair that bit back then.
Did you have a relationship with him in those earlier days?
My early years, we're close in age. Earl would have been 50 right now?
55?
55. I'll be 50. I'll be 60 in December.
Okay.
So
Congratulations.
thank you.
That's good. That's good.
was so close in age. I was in college and running around doing that stuff, fraternity life, what we talked about. And
He's a Sigma man, by the way, y'all.
he's an alpha man. But anyway, I was in college and a little ahead of him, but we always were around each other. But nephew come, nephew go. His mom raised them like Jehovah's Witnesses, so they didn't really come outside a lot when they were little. But you have to go over to the projects and see them and stuff like that. Him and his sisters. It was him, Benita, and Shayla at the time. Samantha came later, but them three grew up in the house. And Benita's actually the oldest. That's why she was like, "What story are you telling?"
Yeah. That's crazy. So what else did he exaggerate? Because now I'm questioning everything.
It's not that he just embellished on things to give drama to it. X was good at putting the show on. He used to throw a Kenny all the time, but
really,
them other stories. But but he made sensationalism. He put star in star.
Well, he changed dramatically from the earlier days. I was a DJ, so I had Born Loser on vinyl. I still do, actually. And it was a much different persona as it was later.
Yeah, from Spellbound to when he
Yeah.
became DMX, the rapper that we know now. Because even when he was out in Long Island, he was in jail. Him and K Solo went through their thing, and X really had the Spellbound thing. He did it. He could do it crazily.
Yeah.
But
So are you saying?
yes, he stole it.
So
K Solo and his brother used to work in my
I don't like how this
cafeteria
is
in
going.
college, and their
wait.
moms. I went to New York Tech out in Long Island. Was in Central Islip. K Solo, Bismarck, Swan, all of them used to come to the college and hang out back then. Even Parrish,
Parrish Smith.
yeah,
From
they,
EPMD.
Yeah, they used to come out there all the time. Always in Long Island with them.
Right. Quick question. Were you around when he actually got introduced to hip hop? Were you there for that? Like, do you remember
No,
his?
I wasn't. He was in. He started writing really in the group homes, and it came out of him there.
Okay.
Gotcha. So you were saying
And
at the go ahead.
no, I was saying, what you going on
Wait,
to college?
because
with me
I
as well.
feel like you're going from K Solo. You were going somewhere. Am I hearing this right? Or because you said everybody was there.
No, I'm just saying him and K Solo was incarcerated together, and
Right.
X was doing the Spellbound thing, and K Solo kind of knocked on it and started doing it. And he came out before X, so
Yeah.
X said, "Fuck it," he did it. I'm moving on to something else, and that's when the Dark Man X was born.
So kids, there was a rapper named K Solo.
Which is still alive, by the way.
He's still alive. He's still
Like he's
around.
not here.
We're trying to get him in here.
Yeah.
And he was down with EPMD. They put him out.
He was on Atlantic Records.
And then he burst out on the scene with a spelling rap.
record
Now,
called
believe it or
Spellbound.
not, this was revolutionary
It was dope.
back in the day.
No,
it was a revolutionary, original style no one ever heard. And he said, "Cause what do you say? SPLL, very WELL, all the
you can run
people
a
out there, TELL.
Yeah.
I got
teaching you how to
X
spell.
doing his Spellbound.
If you don't like me, go to HELL.
I got X doing his Spellbound piece on a digital tape.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I got it on videotape, rather.
You got it. Okay, we got to get the exclusive. Nah, that's dope though. So look, I wanna stop. I wanna quiz. I'm actually gonna do something we've never done before. I'm gonna quiz you
Me?
on Uncle Ray. I'm gonna quiz you.
Wow.
Yup.
Okay. Hey, you
right.
never know what's gonna happen.
Here, all right. This is a different
Just for the
type of
record.
protocol. All right. Okay.
You quizzing
Who-
me on Uncle Ray.
Who
Okay.
did Uncle
Oh
Ray
God.
go to high school with?
Wow. That depends on what year you graduated. What year did you
Well,
graduate? What year
okay,
did you graduate?
okay.
And I can tell you,
85.
85?
Mount Vernon High School.
What school? Wait a minute, what school?
I'm sorry.
You went to school in Long Island?
No, Westchester.
In Westchester? Wow. Ah, shit. Is
He
it?
gave you the.
No, I didn't hear him because you were talking over it.
All right. To keep it moving, I'll give you a clue.
Okay, give me a clue.
Mount Vernon.
Denzel Washington? I don't fucking know.
Oh my God, he ain't that daggone old.
Diddy. He went to school with Diddy.
Ooh. Correct.
Diddy's from Mount Vernon.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, come
Correct.
on. Yeah, Diddy's from
All
Mount
right,
Vernon.
keep going.
Yep. I'm doing good so far, man.
Doing good. Keep going.
What do I win?
Man, a piece of gum. You get another stick of gum. Pause.
All right, let's go.
Come on, it's easy
I
now.
got it now. Come on. This is what I do. I think. Let's go.
After Diddy, Mount Vernon.
Oh, Heavy D?
Yes.
Heavy D, let's
Right.
go.
Ding, ding, ding,
P-Rock?
ding, ding.
Yes.
Ding, ding, ding,
Come
ding,
on.
ding.
I'm on a roll now.
Keep going.
Don't forget my big brother.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Who
he
am
was
I-
my big brother,
who am I
Jeff
forgetting?
Red.
Jeff Red. Oh,
Jeff Red.
I didn't have Jeff Red.
Oh, okay,
See?
okay.
I didn't have Jeff Red. Jeff Red.
Wow.
Okay, Eddie F.
Yes.
Eddie F.
Correct.
Eddie F is in my class. We got a class reunion coming up.
We gonna get Eddie F in the studio.
Oh.
He lives down south now. We was
Atlanta,
talking.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
And CL Smooth.
Yeah.
right?
Smooth.
Anybody else you want to tell us about?
Who else is from Mount Vernon? T-Roy.
T-Roy.
Trouble T-Roy.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Glenn and from Heavy D and the Boys. That's one of my
Right.
good friends. Yeah, my boys.
So, hey man, how was that?
Let's correct the information. My nephew's originally from Mount Vernon. X was born in Mount Vernon, raised in Yonkers.
Raising Yonkers.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
it ain't where you're from, it's where you're at, I guess. You know what I mean? Rakim said it the best.
Shout out to X Mount Vernon and Yonkers.
And Yonkers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So how was? I mean, what was? I mean, we're gonna get back to X. We got way more to talk about. But what was for you high school like? Mount Vernon. I've only been there once, and that was Heavy D's. Well, I've been there twice. That's a personal story.
Yeah. What's her name?
Hev's funeral was my first time.
Yeah.
Mount Vernon.
Mount Vernon. One thing about Mount Vernon is a heavily populated black town. I mean, even in elementary school, my principal was black, my assistant principal was black, all my teachers were black. I felt like I went to a HBCU before I even went to high school. You know what I'm saying? And my parents and my mom. Well, I say parents. My father died when I was 1, but my mom and them, they always influenced us to do the right thing and all this different stuff. But throughout that, she was in charge of the PTA. Her and my godmother, they ran Mount Vernon. Black mayor, black council, and they were, black. Ronald Blackwood, he was the mayor at the time we graduated high school, took over Mount Vernon, and the population just grew even more. We have a heavy Jamaican population now, but it's still black influence heavily.
Yeah.
Our mayor right now is Patterson Howard. She went to high school with me, good friend. She called me the other day. What do y'all need for your class reunion? That's how tight Mount Vernon is. Nice. And if I say Mount Vernon, like Kenny grew up with me in Mount Vernon, I wouldn't say Kenny to the north. And here I say Kenny. But in Mount Vernon, they say, you know Kenny Butler? Yeah. You say your full name in Mount Vernon. That's how you know you from Mount Vernon. But everybody's people knew each other, and we went to church together growing up. So one of the biggest churches in Mount Vernon, Greater Centennial, me and Kenny grew up in that church. So it's a lot of influences, a lot of things that go on. Looking at that picture in Harlem, that was Mount Vernon, basically.
Right. That
everybody was involved in something. Politics, all that. You grew up with that in your household.
Sports too.
Yeah, sports definitely. The Williams brothers, the McRae brothers. Denzel was acting. Denzel was heavily in Mount Vernon. Stephanie Mills, Nina Simone lived in Mount Vernon. Malcolm X and his family lived right up the street from Nina Simone before he died. The twins, his 2 daughters, the twins, were good friends of mine, but one of them passed away. Yeah. No. Malcolm X's daughters. Ernie Davis was one of our large black mayors. His daughters are good friends with us. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So
a lot of rich history in Mount Vernon.
So I'm gonna quiz the bridge to the streets again.
Okay.
What profession did Uncle Ray have before being a manager to DMX, the Locks, and a bunch of others?
What profession did he have before being a manager to X and the Locks?
I'm gonna give you one chance because I don't want to drag this out.
I don't know.
Just take a guess.
What's that?
Substitute school teacher. I don't know.
Ooh, close. Tell us what you did. What were you doing?
I was a teacher in the guidance council.
Close enough. I knew it was one of them.
There's a little
funny story behind that one. Styles P was my student before I was manager.
Get out of here!
Yo,
what student was Styles P?
Styles was an excellent student. He was a very bright young man. When he came I taught in the prisons. So he came to Valhalla, and I taught in the prisons high school and GED program for youth, 16 to 21. Styles came in, and I was like, yo, dude, take the exam to place him in the classes through the charts. I said, yo, something's wrong here. I said, I'm going to pull your high school records. I went back and pulled them. Styles was very close to graduating, had an A average. I said, Styles, you got to finish your high school diploma. So that year, he got his high school diploma and his GED at the same time. And then we were doing SAT college prep classes. And Styles was in there, and, he damn near aced the exam. The same day he was taking it, my nephew was in jail at the same time. And the correction officer said, yo, they knew me real good. Like, Westchester's just a close-knit thing. And the correction officer said, yo, your nephew's up here driving us crazy on key lock. Can you bring him downstairs with you? I said, yeah, you can send him down to the classroom. I said, yo, we taking the SAT exam, you got to chill. I said, matter of fact, to keep you quiet, you take it too. He took it, missed one answer.
What? He aced the SAT?
Aced the SATs, yes.
Wow, I learned something. Shout out to Styles.
Crazy.
X learned he read the Bible backwards and forwards. He read the thesaurus, the dictionary. What the problem with X was when he was little is that they didn't realize he was so smart, and he was basically a genius. You know, and I hate to jump past Styles a little bit, but when we were doing the movie Belly, X read the script and it was on set. Everybody said, "Oh, here's your what's the what they call them
Notes.
the dailies, basically, your dailies. Here your dailies." He said, "I don't need that." Everybody's like, "You don't need that." Now I was even like, "You don't need that. You got to read it to see what's going on." Unbeknownst, that's the time I found out X had somewhat of a photographic memory. Read something once, never forgot it. He was telling Taraji, well, no, not Taraji, Terrell Hicks. He was telling her lines and telling Nas his lines. Everybody was bugged out on set, and they fell in love with him right there. And that's when he became a star from movies. He hold it everywhere.
Wow.
Joe Silver from Warner Brothers fell in love with him because everybody said once he got it, he got it. And when he shows up, either late or not, when he's there, he aces it so well that nobody can be mad no more. You know,
Right.
Damn. So he
Wow.
he's got a photographic memory, basically a genius. Styles aced the
Read the
SATs.
script once and he knows the whole movie.
So going back to Styles a
crazy.
little bit though, the funny story is I was chasing Styles the whole time. He said, "Mr. Copeland, I don't want to go to college. I'm in this group called the Warlocks." I said, "That's nice, but hip hop doesn't make a lot of money." So Styles
At the time.
So a little bit forward, a good friend of mine, she was doing Puff's nails and all that. And, you know, I knew Puff, I knew all the guys. So they had a party up at Madam C.J. Walker's mansion up in Westchester, Irvington. So we went up there and Styles was there. I said, "Styles, what you doing?" And he was with D from Ruff Ryders at the time. That D and was his managers back then. And me and D grew up together too. We known each other from 6th grade. But anyway, Styles is standing there and said, "Yo, I'm in this group called the Warlocks." And I did my story, my spiel again. "That's nice, but you need to go to college. You passed the SAT, da 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 da." He said, "Nah, Mr. Copeland, we about to pop off." I said, "Oh, okay." Then unbeknownst, they did take off the locks. And then D and them kind of rolled over my nephew in Yonkers. So it came some, a little bit going forward. But X was like, "Yo, Uncle Ray helping me out," and back and forth. I said, "Yeah, that's cool." He said, "Why don't you manage me?" I said, "Nah, I got a good job." I was working at Valhalla teaching, and that night I was working for John Jay College, working at Rikers Island teaching adults. In front of, I hate to, brag a little bit, but in between those two jobs, I was almost 200,000 a year. So I was like, "I'm good. I don't do that." And everything kept moving. And my grandmother used to always say, "If an opportunity knocks 3 times, take a look at it." And unbeknownst, the story moved forward. And Styles was like, "Isn't this crazy? You were my teacher, now you're my manager." And he said, it took him so long to stop calling me Mr. Copeland. I said, "Styles, just say Ray." He said, "Mr. C, it's hard, it's hard." We went and met with him like a couple of weeks ago when he opened up his dispensary. And we were all having a conversation about some business. He said, "Yeah, Mr. I said, "Styles, stop." He almost called me Mr. Copeland right there. But, they all started calling me Uncle Ray, so that even took on the persona of still being respectful to me. But with all the artists, I always called all of them by their first name to keep them down, to keep them relevant. But Styles was a very bright young man. And he wrote a book, and he said he gave me a shout out in it. And even within the prison, I started a black library in Valhalla. And Styles, he said, "I don't read books that much." I gave him Man Child in the Promised Land. If you ever interview him, ask him, "What book did Uncle Ray give you?" Man Child in the Promised Land. He said, from that day on, he started reading nothing but a lot of black books. But they introduced me to Iceberg and Donald Goines. I didn't know about those books. You know what I'm saying? So I said, "See how we learn from each other?" It was a beautiful relationship. Me and Styles still have a beautiful relationship.
That's dope. Do you have a relationship with the rest of the locks?
Yeah, me, Kiss, all of us. We was all together that day. And Sheik's birthday was just yesterday, and shouted him out, gave him a happy birthday, yelled me back, "Thanks, Uncle Ray." And I call him Sean, call Kiss his real name. So they love it. They all got respect for Uncle Ray, and I have respect for them. No matter what artist I've worked with, didn't leave on a bad note. We still got great relationships. Even when me and my nephew went through our ups and downs, always respected me as his uncle, even if we didn't work together at times. And times he came back and I helped him with different things. throughout his whole career, there's never a time he didn't call me throughout the week to ask me a question or something like that.
Yeah.
If he had a new manager, he'd be like, "No, you got to do it like Uncle Ray did it." They was like, "Well, why the fuck you leave Uncle Ray?"
Right.
But they all got mad for that reason, and it's so bugged out. A lot of people, I know I'm kind of scrambling, but a lot of people around X always try to take Uncle Ray's shine, and that's kind of why we're here right now. Because I'm like,
Okay.
every album that went platinum or triple platinum, 5, 10, whatever, that's Uncle Ray's credit.
Got you.
Can you elaborate on that? Like
the first 5 albums were up under Uncle Ray.
Okay.
The big blockbuster movies were up under Uncle Ray.
Okay.
All the big TV shows and anything he did appearance-wise was up under Uncle Ray. And there's promoters that wouldn't even book him unless I was involved. That's how my relationship kept coming involved. What's my boy named? Adam Torres. He was like, "I'm not booking him unless Uncle Ray's involved." And a lot of promoters still did it. Even before he died, he did a show at the Barclays Center with Adam Torres. And Adam was like, "Yo, I'll give him that only because of you, Uncle Ray." Other people was fishing around for chitlin circuit, basically, you want to say it. X, I said, "X, you're really worth this."
Right.
And these guys are booking you for this. It makes no sense to me.
Right.
You're on Jay-Z's level.
Right.
Your catalog is heavy. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason you shouldn't be doing what Jay, Nas, or none of them are doing.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
I
His catalog is heavy.
X. He's definitely up there.
Right now, I mean, even though the estate is sitting there, millions of dollars is in the estate right now because the catalog is so good.
Right.
Every movie, everything that's going on is getting pushed out there. People say, how do people sign off on that? The producer has a side of it too. It's 50-50. So if Grease, PK, or even Swizz wants to put a thing out, it'll get out there and they'll wait for the signature from the estate or X later. It's making money. So nobody's going to complain about that.
Right.
And his music's everywhere. You know, go to Europe, go anywhere. Funny story. Back in the day, that's about I met Mel. He was managing A+. I put him on A+. I forgot about A+ too. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Barbara brought me, Charles Suit had him, and then Barbara brought him over to my office.
Right.
Much respect to Charles, no disrespect to anyone. But A was, and he got to manage A+. But when they went to Europe, and I took X in somewhere, I think it was in Europe too, it was in London. And it was like, X was just on. So London knew him, but they didn't know him. So A+ was there with us, and everybody was going crazy over A+. X could not understand. I got the big records. I said, "Hey, he's been in Europe all his life. His records, he's been out a long time." But they was going at A+ like real heavy in Europe, and X was getting ignored, and he couldn't take it.
Couldn't take it?
Like, no. He has to be at the center of attention all the time.
But A+ was at the time soon was a little kid, right?
Yeah,
so you got the young energy, the cute kid image, you know?
Kedar Massenberg and what's her name? Ray Chu's wife.
Vivian Scott Chu.
Vivian helped me take A+ all over Europe.
Right.
Good people.
She took me to Africa.
That's my girl.
Shout out to her, yeah. That's what's up. Vivian Scott Chu. Yes, sir. Man, you kind of jammed my quiz up, man. You
jammed the quiz up.
They still gonna be messed up on the quiz. You can go for it.
All right, one more. What was his
Because
major in college?
What was whose major? Uncle Ray's. Wow. I'm gonna say I don't know. I'm gonna take an educated guess.
It would help dealing with artists.
Artists. I would say business management or something like that. But I may be way off. But
well, you tell them.
Oh, psychology and criminal justice.
Psychology and criminal justice. Okay.
In grad school, I did the guidance counseling.
Okay.
Yeah,
I got 2 out of 1. I mean,
no, you did good. You did good. You did good. You definitely did good. How did that major, if at all? I mean, DMX was a complex. Well, for me,
yes,
he was complex. He was, he could be hard to deal with.
No, that's true. But
true.
I'm gonna say this, and Kenny's sitting there, and Mel's sitting there too. In the beginning, X listened to everything I said.
Okay.
It's not until after the second album, and then there was X. He really went bananas because he found out he was a star.
Okay.
X was very humble in the beginning. He didn't realize he used to say, Uncle Ray, why everybody love me? I said, X, you're doing music. You're giving the world what you've been trying to give them forever. He said, I didn't understand that. And he was living in Jersey at the time, in Teaneck. And he was like, wow, we was driving home. He said, I don't get it. I don't get it. I said, yeah, it's growing. That third album hit, then we did Belly, then we did Exit Wounds, and we was on our way to Cradle to the Grave. That head swelled up, and we couldn't even hold it no more.
Wow.
Kenny had hell as the road manager.
Wow. Sheesh, I can imagine. I can only imagine.
It's that's what the thing about the beauty about it. I should always say, everybody say, "Oh, you know how to deal with problem artists. You majored in psychology." It did help,
Right?
because counseling was my thing, so I always knew how to talk to the artists and sit down with them and break things down. But in the beginning, X was like, "What we doing next?" Like when we did 4321 video with LL and them, the sets was in Brooklyn, and we were supposed to be there 6 or 7 in the morning, something like that. We was there at 6. Everybody said,
Early.
damn, y'all early.
Yeah.
I said, I don't want to be late. I don't want nobody to be feeling I'm late. I said, shit, years later, everybody said, this motherfucker's
Always late.
That happened because the industry did that to him. You know what I'm saying? Like we had a Source photo shoot one time. Julie Greenwald, Leor, all of them there. X was late, and they was like, what the fuck? Uncle Ray. And I'm like breaking my neck, sweating in the room, like, gotta get him here. Kenny, where y'all at? Da, 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 da. He gets there, everybody's kissing his ass. I'm like,
Right.
oh, I got your motherfucking number. I'm gonna never fall victim to this bullshit again.
Right.
So when he got there, he got there. So I never did that again. And he, even later, years later, he said, Uncle Ray, the biggest problem why we stopped fucking up and shit? You wasn't hard on me no more. You used to hit me. I said, X, I can't be doing that shit. You're a grown-ass man.
Right.
Anyway, it was that father figure thing. Even though I was his uncle, he gave me the respect of like a father figure. Yeah. I said, Dag, dude, I can't keep doing that all the time, pushing him around, making him do stuff. Like one time we was in D.C. on tour, and that was the Survival of Illest tour. And he wouldn't get up. It was Butt and Boondle trying to get him out the bed. They said, Ray, he ain't getting up. At that time, I was really on him. I ran in the room and flipped the whole mattress over. Get the fuck up, we gotta go. He was mad as hell, but we got on the bus and we left.
Yeah.
And after that,
Right.
I gave it to the road manager. That was their job. I didn't go on the road as much after that.
Right.
We did the Hard Knock Life tour together and the Ruff Ryder Cash Money tour together, but he wanted me to stay hard on. I was like, I can't be like that every day.
That's exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm your manager, your uncle, and now I'm being a parent.
Right. That's tough.
But that was my heart, though. I love that to death.
Yeah, he had a great heart, man. Let me explain an unpublished interview we did with DMX. He nodded off in the middle of the interview. Now, we don't know. We don't really know what it was. Maybe he was really tired that day. Yeah, maybe he was really tired. But we were worried after that interview.
Nah, X was well known for over drinking and exhausting himself out trying to stay up 24 hours in a day. Yeah. You got to get some sleep sometime. Right. I don't care what you're doing. You got to get some sleep. So he would exhaust himself. When I lived in Harlem, I lived on 120th Street in Harlem. Security was with him. It was like, yo, Uncle Ray, can you get him to go to bed? I was like, he's a grown man. I'm not going to make him go to bed. Then, I put him in this, I had another bedroom. I put him in the bedroom. He laid down, chilled out. And Ben and him was like, oh, we're going to get some rest. Maybe an hour later, he was back up, ready to run again.
Yeah.
He was a high energy person. He just didn't, he was a catnapper. He wasn't
a dog catnapper.
Yeah.
The dog was a catnapper.
He would hate that I said dog catnapper. But he ran on films.
Yeah.
He really did. And if you caught him exhausted, a lot of people like, oh, was he high? No, X just ran himself down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He would drink a lot. He did his thing, but he just ran on films. He just knew how to do it.
Right.
And nobody could hang longer than him. Even one night we was hanging with Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle, I'm going to bed. And Dave said, I hang.
Right.
And he X out-hung him. So it was plenty of times, different artists, he just out-hung them.
That's funny, because I hung out with Dave Chappelle till like 5 in the morning.
Me too.
I was
in LA. I was like, yo, I'm leaving.
right. I didn't leave though. I couldn't leave. I was like, this ain't never happening again. I'm staying up.
You gotta stay, right?
Yeah,
You gotta
facts.
go-
I'm going.
See, Uncle Ray could do that.
Yeah.
Not me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, call me tomorrow. We go somewhere else. I said, we ain't calling you tomorrow.
Do you feel part of your effectiveness was that you weren't industry? That you
Yeah. I used to tell Leo and them all the time. They'd be like, da 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 da. I said, one thing about this, I told Leo this to his face. I said, dude, the day X stopped selling records, or I stopped working with my nephew, or we stopped being in this business, you're not gonna take our phone calls no more. I have degrees behind me. I have job security and stuff like that I could go back to and doing different things. And he was like, nah, we're gonna be friends forever. I said, yeah, right, Leo. 2000, 2002 or 3, when me and X had that split, Kathy was Leo's assistant. I said, Kathy, we're gonna play this game. I'm gonna call you every day, because he stopped answering the phone midway through.
Right.
I said, I'm gonna call you every day for a year. And I called Kathy every day for 1 year. And then there was a Source. No, there wasn't. Was it Source? Vibe. Vibe had an anniversary party. Jay-Z was hosting it.
Wow.
T.I. was just coming out, and they were all at this venue, and I was there too. And I said, Kevin and Kaiser was there. Always loved Kaiser. Kaiser,
Michael
always a
Kaiser,
great guy.
Kevin Lyles.
So Kaiser said, Uncle Ray, what's up? So we were talking. Leor comes over. Hey, Uncle Ray, you don't call me no more. Break.
Hollywood talk.
Leor, if we get Kathy on the phone right now, I called you 1 year straight. I sat in your office. I seen you ignore people's phone calls. You ignored me for 1 year straight. Then you're talking the bullshit. Let's go have lunch and dinner or da 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 da. Dude, I told you what I told you when we first got on, and you lived me up to my truth. You basically were the industry dude, and I was not. That's why I said that. He said, no, my life was, I got divorced. You got divorced. I know about your divorce. I know where your children are. I know all that. Screw that. You did exactly what I said you was going to do. And that's why I always pronounced that I was not an industry dude, but I knew the industry.
And what did he say to that on the spot there?
He was stuck in words. He didn't know what to say. And I walked away and said, fuck you, and I'm out of here. And Kevin was like, yo, Ray, don't be like that. I said, Kev, I don't want to do that one. But Kev, you know what you can do. Kaiser, anytime.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
But that's the game.
That's the game.
It's just something we all know.
Hit him with the Burnell Hill.
But if you live in your truth, can't nobody knock you down.
Yeah.
You know, everybody said, what you gonna do now? You ain't managing X. Motherfucker, I got degrees. I know how to get a job.
Right.
You know, float through the industry still consult with people, still do different things, but I know how to work. I'm not gonna starve for nobody.
Yeah. Now, DMX's beginnings, there were a lot of components to it.
Yes.
You had Irv Gotti, you had Ruff Ryders, you had obviously Def Jam and others.
Yeah.
How did those parts work together as far as presenting DMX as an artist?
Well,
Dame Grease, I'm sorry. Respect to Dame Grease.
Yeah, I asked it
Yeah.
first.
Shout out to Dame Grease.
Grease
He's not mentioned enough.
Yeah, he's
yeah, that's
definitely
why
mentioned a
I
lot.
did mention it. And I managed Grease too at the time, and PK.
Okay.
Yeah, and Spunk, Bigger, and Splash, another two producers. But like when I used to take X to our studio a lot in the beginning, and I was still teaching at the time. He said, "Uncle, I gotta go to the studio." Oh, no problem. I'll draw you down there, drop him off at the studio, pick him up, and then sometime he was with Grease. He went down there and messed with Grease. They was doing music together, and it was building it. The locks that came out, he was really upset because he didn't get his shine yet. I said, yours is coming. It's bigger. It's going to be greater. Just hold on. The team started building. Ruff Ryders was a management company first, which they had the locks. Then they turned it to a production company, which X was their first artist under production, where they did a joint venture with Def Jam, and X was that artist that signed to Def Jam. And they had another slot to bring another act over there. It was between Drag and Infant Cross. Infant Cross ended up getting signed over there, and their manager was a kid named Craig, and that's how they all started coming around. But then after that, Ruff Ryders' success of X, Interscope gave the deal to Ruff Ryders, and that's how Ruff Ryder Records started. And Eve, Drag, The Locks was all on that a part of it. So X was really a Def Jam artist, where the others were Interscope, Ruff Ryders, and then Drag ended up going to Virgin too, and was over there with Virgin Records as well through Interscope.
Yeah.
So it just builded and builded and builded, and then the separations of people getting their different things going on. And a lot of times people thought my company was Ruff Ryder Company. My company was Bar Entertainment Management. It was a true management company. And they used to think people made me up because I didn't go out. I didn't go to parties. I didn't go to different things. They said, these letters y'all got from this cat, Ray Copeland, are real. We know he doesn't exist.
Right.
But after a while, people started seeing me in different things in different places with the artists. So they started to know Uncle Ray really did exist.
Now, Ruff Ryders, I don't know how do I say this? They definitely trusted you, right? I mean, is that fair to say?
Yeah, they trusted me. Like I said, Darren, when I moved to Mount Vernon, their cousin Barshear played with one of my nephews, which passed away now. It wasn't X, it was Hard. And Barshear said my cousin Darren, and me and Darren just hit it off. And I think it was 6th grade or junior high school. And we just became friends right there, and we was cool ever since, you know. And it flourished into when X signed with them, they were wide open because they knew me, so it made it easier for me to step in to be X's manager, and there wouldn't be no big conflict to nobody because everybody knew each other, and we all were from Mount Vernon.
Right. Okay.
Question: how much obviously you've been around so long, how much of DMX's unreleased music is out there that we're gonna hear in terms of albums? Like, do you think we get more albums?
Yeah, it's like when he was living in Arizona, there's a lot of unreleased music that Grease has. There's a lot of unreleased music that when he just passed away with Swizz.
Yeah, I can imagine what Swizz
Steve
have.
Rifkind and Craig and them all have.
Right.
And there's a lot out there.
Right.
And then there's a whole gospel album that he never got released at Def Jam.
Now, would that technically still be under Def Jam?
The gospel artist is probably still
Okay.
under Def Jam because he did it while he did the last album.
Okay.
The rest of the stuff is, people have it.
Reese has been
Like
talking.
I have a lot of unreleased music of X.
Oh, you have wow,
yeah,
really?
that I need to take and transpose and see what's on them
Wow.
and stuff like that. I have like X's. I have books with X writings and then his hip hop stuff. I mean, his lyrics and stuff in books and stuff like that. A lot of the different things. I also have a dog chain. It's so funny. The original dog chain he used to wear before Leo gave him the platinum chain.
Right.
I have the original chain that he has in a case that Leo gave it to him when he brought it from Jacob the jeweler back then before Jacob was Jacob.
Right. That's crazy.
I have a lot of I have a lot of souvenirs from all the tours, tags, tickets, pictures, books and stuff from all the tours that we did.
You know something I always noticed about DMX, and maybe I'm wrong. He always wore Timbs. I never seen him with sneakers on.
No, he didn't like sneakers.
I never seen him with a pair of sneakers.
No, he wore them.
Never.
In the beginning, he wore a couple of pairs of sneakers, but he was Timmed out all the time.
I've never seen him.
No,
he
Timmed
only
out
wore
all the
Timbs.
time.
Did he ever? Maybe I'm missing. Did he ever have an endorsement with Tim?
No,
he should have.
We went to Timberland for an endorsement deal. This is so funny. Back one of the first tours, Lauryn Hill, Outkast. It was supposed to have been a tour with Lauryn Hill, Outkast, and DMX.
Right.
But Lauryn Hill and Outkast did do the tour, but that was the time when we first was on Survival of the Illest, and after that we was going to do that tour. X got arrested for that rape case, but it turned out not to be true. They found the guy in Harlem that really did it, and it went away. But Timberland and Levi was getting ready to do a deal with us, and that all got pushed out the window because of that. But Timberland was like, we really don't do deals, but at that time we think what's gonna do it. Then they pushed away from it, and they said we don't do facial endorsements.
That's
But
crazy.
they gave X endless Timbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all he wore.
They gave it to him.
Like,
It's
Every new pair of Timbs that came out, they sent it to him first.
wow.
It's so funny you say Levi's because the last time I interviewed DMX, this is the weirdest thing that happened. He just said Levi's, and I had on Levi's, and he just literally just mentioned it out of nowhere, and I was like, okay, like, you know, I don't know if that's some savant thing or if the deal had.
Now X would notice things in a room that you wouldn't even notice, and he'll say them, you'll bug out and be like, "What the hell?"
Right. It was so
His
weird.
mind raced.
Right,
So
right,
He
okay.
thought beyond thinking. So
Right,
sometimes
gotcha.
people would thought it was weird,
Yeah.
and he's thinking of something totally different. He's ahead of you already. Like a lot of times in his music, say you won't get it now, you'll get it 5 to 10 years later, or something like that. So a lot of times, even in his music now, listen to it, you say, "Oh, I finally got what he was saying." Yeah.
So let me ask you, the other thing that when I last interviewed him, he hated Drake so much. And I was trying to clean that up at that time, but he wouldn't there was no cleaning that up. Can you give like any insight on that? Like,
He just got this thing on. If he didn't feel you as it's okay as a dog man would feel another dog, he just growled at you. So he growled at him. But later on, they made their relationship solid.
Yeah.
Right.
And they mended the fence.
I think it was that and the fact that he took that Aaliyah acapella and made a song without anybody's permission.
That's
Like,
part
he
of
thought
it,
he was
too.
entitled to do that, and
Yeah.
X felt some kind of way about that.
That's part of it too. 'Cause X loved the shit out of Lee.
Yeah, so I can understand.
Never no relationship, nothing
He
ever
didn't-
happened.
yeah, he didn't
between
ask
them. It
for-
was just pure friendship. And Barry Hankerson and was some beautiful people. And when we were on Survival of Illest tour, Barry called me. We were in Miami on the leg of the tour, and he called me. He wanted X to be in Romeo Must Die. And we were so busy, our tour was so thick. And he said, "I'm gonna put you on the phone with this guy. His name is Joel Silver, and he's gonna make a deal with you to do the movie with Leah." I said, "All right." Joe called me. I said, "I need y'all in LA this time." I said, "After we finish the tour, we can get this going." He said, "No, you don't understand. I need him now." I said, "Joe, we can't do it. We're on tour." Hung up. Barry called me back. Said, "Ray, he's trying to do this with you." I said, "Joe, Barry, I want to do it, but it's just not working with our schedule." Hung up. Joe called back. "What do you need?" "I'll give him $250,000 right now. You do this part in the movie." I said, "Joe, it's not the money." And it really wasn't the money. And I said, "I'll talk to X and I'll get back with you." Before I can even get to X's room to talk to X, Joe had called me back. "You know what, Ray? I'm not even playing no more. I give him $500,000 take this part in the movie." And the part in Romeo Must Die was not that big
Wow.
for
Right.
X.
Damn.
It was a small role. And he wanted X in that role, and Aaliyah and Barry had talked to him. And I said, "All right, I'll see. I gotta talk to X right now."
Breaking you down.
So before I got to X's, and me and X were sitting in the lobby at the hotel at the time, and we talking about it. X said, "Yo, it's a good move. We should do it, right?" I said, "Yeah, but we got to work our schedule out." Before I can finish saying that part, Joel called back again with Barry on the phone and said, "Yo, he got to do this movie, Ray. What is it gonna take?" I said, "I'm not negotiating. I want him to do it. I just got to work it out in our schedule." Joe said, "Fuck it, $1 million for this part." I'll call you right back.
Oh yeah, what time you want us there?
How we gonna do
We're leaving right now. Hold on.
going
We're on the way.
But we did.
Tour's canceled.
We did finish the tour.
Right.
But we got to LA. We got the part, and
Right. So
we had to go to LA. We shot in Vancouver, and we shot in LA a little bit. But
I'm glad you clarified that because I thought it was 2 million, but it was actually 1 million.
the first movie ended up being 1 million. But with all the perks and shit, it
Okay, because
really
I
2
was
million.
okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So that was the beginning of my negotiating skills in the movie
Good,
world.
Right.
good, yeah.
So later on, when we did Exit Wounds, that's when
Right.
I used that as my negotiating skills.
Right. You know what's crazy about that? They tried to offer you 250 at first when they knew they would pay $1 million in the beginning.
Oh yeah.
You see that? You see how that? You see what they did there?
But me, not even a negotiating skill. Like I said, I took it on later.
Right.
I was just doing my job, keeping them on tour.
Right.
But they ignoring, and they couldn't take that.
Right.
So it turned out to be $1 million the first thing, plus all the expenses and perks and getting us there and doing what they needed to do.
Wow.
Ended up really being $2 million.
Right.
So when we did Exit Wounds, Joe said, "I'm not even gonna play with you, Ray. I want this movie. I want him to star in this movie. He's gonna be great. We're gonna make him into the biggest thing, and we're gonna really do this well." And we're not even gonna argue right now. I'm giving X $5 million. What you got to say about that? I said, we can make this deal happen. Plus
right.
perks and all his people came on. They all had their own cars, everything.
Yeah.
We was living out in Toronto then. We stayed in Toronto doing that movie. And Joe, that movie became a big success. A $25 million budget. Made 100 and something million.
Yeah, so they made their investment back.
They made their money back and then some.
And then
It
some.
was digital, DVDs, all that different stuff. And I learned a lot from Joel and them doing that part, like I did at Def Jam. But when I got into the movie world, I spent time with Joel Silver and Dan Cracchiola.
Right.
God bless the dead, good guy. He the one started that whole Matrix move. That was Dan Cracchiola. Him and some Japanese guy put that together.
Right. So question.
Whenever it's used, his family gets money from it.
Right. So question, when you're negotiating, when someone say, "Hey, Uncle Ray, I got $5 million," do you just accept that, or do you say, "Okay, if you offer me 5, that means I'm worth more"?
No.
Or 7.
Any deal.
Do you ever do that? You just take whatever they offer you?
Any deal I got negotiated with any client that I ever dealt with, and well, of course, X, my number one client.
Somebody in trouble.
I ain't gonna lie, that's my other phone.
Uncle Ray's in trouble. Uncle Ray's in trouble.
He's straight.
No, so
that's Leor.
Yeah. He ain't got that number. So negotiating and stuff like that, I use that tactic. But like, what was I saying? Like
the $5 million.
The $5 million
negotiation.
For Exit Wounds and stuff. So that movie made its profit back and in that. So Joel came at us with Cradle to the Grave. And that went a lot higher, and a lot more perks and a lot more back. Well, we always got back in. I got back in even from Belly.
Okay.
X got
Classic
back
movies,
in.
Man.
I got back in. So when you see my movies, a little checks in the mail.
Checks in the mail. Talk.
You know where I got that from? Queen
Talk.
Latifah and Shakim. I heard them talking on the interview way before we got deep into the movies. So I seen managers getting back in. I said, I want that.
Yeah.
So
Rude business people.
When I had them, I said yes.
Dope.
Nice. Now let's talk a little bit about X's later days. You know, I don't want to say the final days, but let's just say, later in life, he's engaged, I should say. He's got a child, and things seem like he was heading in a more peaceful place, settled down a bit, seemed happy. What's your perspective on that? And were you married? I mean, not were you married? Were you managing him?
No,
not at all.
Our relationship still was always tight.
Okay.
Throughout whatever the perception of public thought, we were always cool. He would always call me for advice. Like even when he passed, it was so funny. My best friend Chroma, he was with me one night, and he's also my frat brother. But we were hanging out, and I left my phone at home, and I never leave my phone. So I said, Chroma, I got to go back and get my phone. So we was hanging out in the barbershop up at Mount Vernon, and 2 hours had passed. I said, Chroma, before we go anywhere else, I got to get my phone. So we went back to the house to get my phone, and it was like a whole bunch of missed calls from Styles. I was like, Styles? What the hell is going on? I picked the phone up, I called Styles back. Styles said, Uncle Ray, you got to get to White Plains. Something happened to X. I grabbed my sister. She lived in Mount Vernon. Grabbed her. All I remember was grabbing her, and the next thing you know, we was in White Plains. And that was April 3rd. I always remember that day. And I got in that hospital. They had him in that room, and all these tubes and stuff was in them. And I called Tashira, and her and the kids were at the movie theater. And she got to the hospital, and I came out the back because I wanted the kids to go in and check them. And she said, Ray, why are you crying? I said, he's gone. Everybody said, no, Uncle Ray. Nah. We had a connection. I know I lost. Excuse me.
No, take your time. No, don't even take your time.
I know I lost him that day. Even though the hospital wanted to go through the motions. And I called my cousin, Dr. Benjamin Carson. I said, yo, he's a neurosurgeon. So I said, yo, he said, did they do the ink test yet? They hadn't done it yet. And it's where they put this stuff in your thing. And if it comes above your neck, there's still brain operation. There was none. And then that was the 9th when we pronounced him dead at the hospital. I just, the whole world just went black for a minute.
Yeah, I can't imagine, man. That was a dark day, sad day, for sure, for a lot of us. But I can't imagine what you felt going through that.
And the worst part about all of it is, if they just would have called, because Styles knew the cops and stuff. They said if they just would have called a half an hour earlier, he would have not lost a half an hour of oxygen to his brain. So with that being said, I always have a tense emotion to his girlfriend. You know.
Did she try to take care of it, do you know, or was there a delay, maybe?
It just was too much. So much was going on, so many things. And then White Plains, the police department, still has not closed that case until this day.
Wow.
Wow. So.
Wow. That's crazy.
So for clarification purposes, he was at the house unconscious before paramedics arrived or anybody arrived for 30 minutes with unattended,
At
basically,
the house.
without. Wow.
Child.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you think there may have been some foul play? Do they think there may have been foul play?
I think the ignorance of the people that was there with him, not knowing the right things to do and worried about themselves more than others. You know, I don't blame them, but I kind of do blame them. I don't know how to really explain that part because my emotions still ride on it a lot. And then going forward, I never, me and Ruff Ryders had our ups and downs. But when it was time to bury X, I'm on the phone with everybody. With Ruff Ryders, with Swizz, with Steve Rifkind, with Def Jam. And I'm like, this is what it's going to cost to put X's funeral on. Come on, let's put this together. Everybody say I ain't got it. I'm like, what the fuck? I think I balled out again. And then I just hung the phone up on all of them and said, fuck you, I'm going to put this together. My partner at the time, Jermaine Miller and Ron Sweeney, y'all know Ron Sweeney, the lawyer. $150,000 later, I put that funeral on. The day of the funeral, everything was done by Uncle Ray. Def Jam puts in the article they paid for X's funeral. Yeah, Def Jam, you gave me $35,000. But X's funeral was way more than $35,000. And everything at the Barclays Center, Kanye took care of. So when I see you guys, I always got a lump in my throat because, like, this man made us millionaires. And I had to fight to put this together with my family. I forgot something, a gift for y'all too. The book for the funeral. I meant to bring it. I'll bring it to you. I'll get it to you.
Okay, appreciate that.
And it's a coffee table book. It's a collector's piece.
Okay.
It started out as a little It started out as a little pamphlet like any other funeral. It was just too much. I couldn't leave out certain things. it turned into a 200-page book, a
Right.
magazine basically.
Right. Question for the record, and I know this doesn't always cover everything. Did X have life insurance?
No,
So he didn't have. Okay, he didn't have life insurance. Okay.
no.
Okay.
But the beautiful part, like I say, thank God for people that love you and good relationships and keeping good ties with people. Because putting that 150,000 together, I mean,
Right.
2 people, but it was done.
Right.
Yeah.
And other people later on was like, yo, if you need me. But it wasn't the fact that other people needed me, it was the fact that he helped all of us become millionaires, and why?
Right. So,
Why?
right. I'm just for clarification purposes. I'm having a hard time digesting this. So, and this is not to throw anybody under the bus. So, they said they didn't have it, or this is all I have. No, there was no offer other than that.
We don't have it.
Then I was it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And people, you call yourself X's best friend, even though X's best friend was this kid TP, a lot of kids from Yonkers.
Right.
All your industry people was not X's friends. Like he always said, I ain't got no friends in the industry. You know,
Right.
and, you know,
I didn't know that. This is news to me. I had no
possible
idea.
they didn't have it because I know the industry is smoke and mirrors. I mean, Def Jam's another, that's completely different, obviously, but is that possible? I mean, I'm just.
I don't know. I can't. I don't live in your pockets.
Yeah.
But come on.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I say it in the form of an offer. I don't have that, but this is what I have.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
That's the only thing. And then the perception out there, everybody putting out there like they did something.
Yeah.
Like even the day X got buried and the motorcade went out to the Barclays Center, X was not on the top of that truck. I wouldn't allow X's body to get on top of that truck because it wasn't safe, number one.
Right.
X was in a hearse behind me going to the Barclays Center. X did not leave that funeral home until the day of the funeral. He was not at the Barclays Center.
Wow.
I did a private viewing for my family in Bronxville where everybody was there. As mad as I was, I said, I should just do this funeral right here. I got all my family right here. I should just do this funeral. I got his father's side, and Earl's mother is my sister, so I had everybody there. So I said, yo, I should just do this funeral right here and bury this man and let everything else be a show. But I said, everybody said, Ray, you can't. Tashira, X's wife, said, Ray, you can't do that to public and da-da-da-da. I said, you know what, you're right. And, Tashira talked to me, so I did it her way. I said, all right, we're going to do this. We're gonna finish it out.
Yeah. Well, I want to say thank you, man, for holding X down. He has a very special place in my heart, and the public's heart too.
Yeah.
And the fact that you made right what could have gone horribly wrong is commendable, for real. And I think I can speak for everyone in saying that was apex stand-up man shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what you do for your family.
Yeah.
You
Right.
break your neck to make sure everything's right in your household.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And God was with me. He told
Yeah.
me, we got this.
Yeah. Right.
I cried like a motherfucker after I
Yeah.
hung that phone up, but
Yeah.
when my partner stood behind me, Jermaine them said, yo, we got you, Ray. I said, yo, there's nothing in this world I would never do for Ron or Jermaine ever in my life.
Yeah, the industry's crazy, man.
We were bigger than the industry. We were friends first. We were family first. That's why it hurt so hard. And even talking about it, I was like, but you know what? I gotta say it because, dang, man.
How is your relationship with the fiance? She was never married to X. How's your relationship with them? I mean, we absolutely want to hear.
No, me and Tashira was,
Okay.
Tashira and Earl was, we like freaking frat.
Right. Okay.
And that was the love of Earl's life, no matter what.
Tashira. Okay.
Everybody knows it. Even all the baby mothers knew it. Desiree, she's a nice young girl, but we don't have no real relationship. And she just doesn't know. A lot of them, like I always say, Like even when Earl passed and the kids were like, "Oh, my dad's DMX." No, your father was Earl Simmons. DMX was a persona. Teach your children to say DMX was my dad. I mean, Earl Simmons was my dad. DMX was who he was.
Yeah.
And I think later on they get it, but she got her kid on social media. I'm DMX's. What if something happens to that boy?
Yeah.
Earl did never. Tashira's kids were not out there like that.
Yeah.
They grew up in Bedford, New York, went to school. Earl used to get mad because they were corny. I said, guess what you did? You broke the cycle of the hood.
Yeah, that's a
These
good
kids
thing.
are gonna be something.
Yeah.
One of his son's best friend is the Hans family. His daughter plays with his other son. Got best friend mom runs Viacom. These are the kids they're playing with. So they came one day, somewhere we were at, and they all had on, dirty sneakers. Earl said, "Oh, take them and get some new sneakers." They said, "Dad, we just got these." But they grew up like the white boys basically. So they dirty sneakers wasn't shit to them.
Right.
They had fun. And right now these kids are into music, they're into video games, but they're into developing them and getting into the integral parts of things. These kids think beyond thinking. They're some smart kids. Xavier, Tacoma, Sean, and Praise. Praise, his daughter is off the chain, but smart kids. Smart. I love them kids. Love them.
So wait, was DMX? He never was a grandfather, right? What?
Actually, it's so funny you say that. He had a daughter, this girl from Baltimore. We couldn't find her. He said he had a daughter in Baltimore. Even when we began running around, and she was around the same age, a little older than Xavier. Raven is her name, and she lived in Atlanta. She has 2 children, so X basically had grandkids.
He was okay. Yeah, that's crazy.
But he never got to see him.
Wow, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow, this has been an eye-opening experience. And by the way, we can keep going because look, I got so many questions.
All the other girls are beautiful baby mothers, and they're cool, But they always get mad because Tashira's just my girl. That's just it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had a good relationship with Yachty, but Tashira's my girl.
Yeah.
And I tell them all that. And Earl would tell them that Uncle Ray ain't fucking with nobody but Tashira.
Yeah. Yeah, she's nice. I interviewed her one time, like TMZ style, before TMZ, in the club one time, just literally with my digital camera.
Digital camera.
My digital camera. It was. I think I inspired TMZ, but that's a whole nother story.
That's a clip right there.
Yeah.
The love I have for my nephew is the
inspired.
same love I have for Tashira. And if something was to happen this year, I think I'll be here crying the same way.
Yeah. We gotta get her because she's doing a lot. She
just wrote another book.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Yeah,
and
definitely.
she's peeling back her layers, and I told her it's your time to just shine. Do you?
She dealt with a lot too.
Yeah, she went through a lot. A woman married to a star. A woman. Well, they met when nobody had nothing. When they lived in the projects together, chilling and stuff. I still drink. What's that tea?
Arizona?
No, the iced tea made. Not Lipton. Four Seasons.
Okay, yeah.
Tashira used to make that. She used to make it so good. I still drink it to this day. I had her sisters laughing the other day. I said, "Yo, I still drink that tea." She's like, "Hey, that chick, I give you diabetes." I said, "You started it."
Right.
And she used to always make, and they lived in the PJ. They always had dinner. She always worked. Because she used to work at General Motors back then. And she would come home. And I didn't really eat beef back then. And she made this pepper steak and onions. That shit was so fucking good over white rice.
Wow.
But there was always a meal on the table at the house with them.
That's crazy.
They had a special relationship, a real special relationship.
So I want to ask you a random question, and I hope I don't want to, break all the way away from where we're going, but so there were similarities, to some, between Tupac and DMX.
No.
But X did not care for him like that. Am I right? It was
No. He didn't dislike Tupac at all. X was one of those artists where he was just himself. He like he tell you, I don't fuck with other rappers. I respect them, but I don't fuck with them.
Yeah.
Because you come at me, I'm gonna bite you.
Right.
So people tried to compare him to Tupac in the beginning, but he showed them his way, and they followed him in his way.
Okay.
Like I'll never forget one time. This is around the survival, just before the survival list. Around that time, we did a show at Woodstock,
Okay.
and
What's
the Woodstock,
the
upstate,
Woodstock show?
yeah, upstate.
Yeah.
Yo, we walked out there. It was a sea of people, and Sheryl Crow was supposed to be the headliner for that Woodstock show. They were yelling X's name all this thing. We was like, what? We were just starting it, 97 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we was like, oh shit. And he got on stage, yo, Uncle Ray, this is crazy. They throwing mud though. I said, that mean they love you. That was the school white boys. I know the crazy shit they do. And he was like, yo, this is crazy. And his DJ back then, LS1, he was like, yo, this is nuts.
Yeah.
LS is a good dude too. I stole him from Onyx.
Oh.
Sorry.
Shout out to Onyx. Shout out. It's funny too, by the way. Onyx, he appeared on Shut 'Em Down with Onyx, and you know, Sticky Finger used to be the closer. Sticky Fingers used to be the closer. He always went last. So on that particular song, you know, X would go last too.
Yeah.
But on that song, he went before Sticky, and Sticky said, what do you say, in the war of men or dogs, I'm the Rottweiler, my clock collar. And I was like, yo, was that for X? Was you going at X on the record with X?
Right.
He was like, yeah, I was. But I, you know,
Yeah, I was.
but yeah, they both were.
That Woodstock footage, that's online, isn't it?
It's a sea of people.
It's a sea of people.
We were just
right.
talking about that earlier.
Okay.
That was amazing. But that was Are you sure that was 97?
97, 98, something.
Had to be 98.
Somewhere around in that era.
Yeah,
between
yeah.
97 to
Yeah,
99.
it was like a sea,
somewhere in there.
literally a sea of people.
It was
as far as the eye could
crazy.
see.
Our first
And he had
album dropped, one of
the
our
jumper
first albums.
on.
Yeah, the red
with
jumper.
one-
No, he had the
one-
jumper, with
one off.
the Timbs.
Yeah, with the Timbs. With the
the
Timbs.
Timbs.
We gotta give God 5001. That was our.
Oh, that's my
he
guy,
made all our
5001
clothes.
flavors. Yeah,
God
yeah,
made all his
that's my
clothes
guy.
back then.
Shout out to the guy from 5001 flavors. He's in the crew, the BBS boys. That's our car club. So
Yeah.
he do all our outfits. So shout out to the guy. He did Biggie stuff too. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
All the Versace stuff Big was wearing.
Yeah.
He did all that too.
Stuff.
So shout out God, man. 5001 flavors.
Actually, the suit we buried X in God.
Right. Yeah. Shout out to God. That's my guy Woods.
Yeah.
Now, I want to talk about something that might be a little touchy. When X started Bloodline Records, when you and X started Bloodline Records,
Me.
didn't you help start Bloodline Records?
All right, Leor.
I'm just saying.
No. Yes.
The streets. Hey.
Oh, it's back.
Go ahead,
So around, shout out to Bizarre Royale, by the way. Now,
Love Bizarre.
let me just say this. There was a lot of talk on the streets. A lot of talk. We don't know the truth. We don't know the facts. Because we could never verify what was happening. So I'm not gonna say what we heard because I don't wanna say what we heard because I don't even want me to be the one responsible. But I will say this much. I heard it was tense. And that's probably, well, I won't say what it probably is, but that's the rumor. It was tense. What say you from your vantage point as to that situation?
Bloodline Records got birthed because X was promised a percentage of Ruff Ryders, point blank. When he didn't feel he could get that there, he said, I'm going to start this. Uncle Ray, let's talk. So Leor came to Canada while we was filming Exit Wounds, offered X the deal. The lawyers came, positioned the accountants, put the numbers together. We closed the deal and Bloodline was born, and that's when all the tension really started.
With Ruff Ryders.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because they thought X was going to sign himself to his own label, but X was like, no, I'm fine where I'm at.
Uh-huh.
This is just mine.
Uh-huh.
That was supposed to be a piece of mine. This is mine now. Never wanted to leave Ruff Ryders. Never. Never.
Did
He
he
just
ever?
wanted the respect of what you promised him. That's all.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
So if he explained that,
I said Leor.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that was X's label because I had went over to not Jimmy, Clyde was about to give me a deal for my
Harrison.
company. Yeah.
Okay.
And Leor kind of put a nail in it in a funny way because he said, I gave them Bloodline. That wasn't mine. That was X's.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
That's why I called you Leor when I was saying the little thing.
Um, were you ever in danger?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, like the first time I got shot, it was purely by accident.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the hotel. X was supposed to be somewhere where he wasn't. He was in the hotel acting up. Me and Tashir went and got him. I tell the story. I told it before already. Um, he had a gun in his bag. There was a bunch of the Hyatt Hotel over across the bridge on Route 4. There was a bunch of Japanese people in the lobby because they had a big sushi bar over there. I used to go there sometime to eat. And he's like, oh, they coming at us. He's a little paranoid. I was like, they're not like coming at us. And I don't know if you ever had I don't know what to call it, the premonition or whatever. You're going to get shot, but you're going to be okay. He pulled the gun out. I smacked it down. It shot me in my foot. I always remember I had on some gray New Balances. That one shoe was this foot. That one shoe turned burgundy. And him and Tashir was in the lobby. I said, yo, get him out of here. Tashir said, what you said? I said, just leave. I'm good. I said, when you get on the bridge, get rid of the gun.
Right.
The gun went in the water. The truth is out now, but the gun went in the water. But we went to court in Jersey for the dogs. But they tried to bring this together, and they was like, nah, you ain't got no case.
Yeah.
Because when they had me in the hospital in Jersey over in Inglewood, I called Ian Niles. He was a criminal lawyer. He was with Matt Middleton and them, but he was the criminal division. And he came over, got me, and he said to the police, is he under arrest? When they said no, I said, we out of here. And that never really came up. But when they tried to bring it in the courtroom, it never worked because nobody never said nothing. And they had no real evidence in the hallway, and the hotel had no cameras back then. So God was on our side.
Definitely.
But later on, through Bloodline being started, running around, movies, different things, tension came, things came. I was over in Yonkers with my R&B group. What Ruff Ryders had was Parlay, and Mel was with me, but it was such an eerie feeling in the air the whole night. And in my mind, I wasn't listening to folk that I should have listened to. And out of nowhere, somebody came, and I got shot in my arm, and I got shot in the heel of my foot that night. And I never in my life ran so fast, and it was a fence. I think the fence was about 7 feet. I took one hand and flipped my whole body over the fence, ducked down in some bushes and hid myself. Cops came. I could see the cops.
Right.
But my nerves and my adrenaline was flowing so bad I didn't want to come out for them.
Right. Wow.
My brother and I love you. This is something that's brought me. I just felt I had to say.
Okay, Mel's talking. Mel, you wanna come to the mic because we
Oh, I'm sorry.
go ahead. You gonna make the edit hell on us because we look,
I'm saying this. I love him.
The mic is-
No, I love him. He's just being. I was telling Ray, why are we going up there? There's no need. We don't need to meet them. Excuse my language. We don't need to meet them. These niggas, they can come to the office. They need anything. You already know what the situation is. What I'm saying is, when you have discernment, when you already know what it is. You don't need to test the universe. Like you said, we got people telling you what it is. We have to stop being like, nah, I got it, because anybody can be touched.
yeah.
We all been around. We all know what it is. Don't matter if you're not the president, anybody can be touched. So what happened was like, yo, I'm just gonna go up to Yonkers. They just want to start up for what?
Right.
Because already at the time we already knew what the tension
It was
and stuff
tension.
like that. So it's like, we don't need to go. Nah, I'm good. I go, all right. So did the right thing. They, whatever the case may be, they met them downstairs, whatever the case may be. I'm in the trunk in the passenger seat because I'm not getting out the truck because you feel it in the air. Like, you feel it. Or it's already been, you feel it. Well, in case I see a certain car drive by, sorry, you already know. That's when you hear the shots. Dum, dum, dum. I look at the passenger side. I look around, see Ray. I don't see him. I guess that's because he took off. I jump on the driver's side. I peel off. Look, call from whatever the case may be. Makes it to the hospital. I immediately call the security that we was working with. Yo, Ray's in the hospital. Go over there, just secure him. I'm in the house. Just make sure he's good. Like, they gave him Demerol. He never went to sleep well because now you're like.
They shot me 3 times with Demerol.
He never went to sleep.
Right.
I was my adrenaline was flowing too much, and then I didn't even know he called security.
Right.
So when security came to take me home, I was like, "Who the fuck called this motherfucker?"
Right.
Oh, these niggas trying to really kill me.
Wow.
So in the car the whole way home, he said, "Ray, you can relax and go to sleep." I said, "Nah, nigga." My mom was like, "Nah, nigga, I don't know who sent you here."
Right.
So I was either one.
Yeah.
Let's not get it twisted. I'm not speaking bad. We are all family. Like with anything, family has their issues. Let's not get it twisted. Everybody fights and argues, whatever the case may be. And one thing I can say here now, and I'll always look, we are intertwined, whether we want to be or not. We created one of the biggest movements in hip hop. I looked at the discography from basically 97, 98. We did like from 97, 98 to basically 2004. We did 15 albums from Ruff Ryders, Def Jam. What I'm saying is sometimes we have to be proud of the things that we have done. And as he said, and Syndicate, and he proves it. D was they don't even know, and D is the reason behind the music on the side of Ruff Ryders. Because we stayed in the studio. Like, we're not doing those industry projects because we stayed in the studio. That's how we got all those projects out. The projects, and what people don't understand is, and I was just telling Kim, even without the people that were dealing with, you had Kim, but you had Boom Dope. The people that were on X that didn't give a, excuse my language, that didn't care on how he spoke. Man, shut up. We got work to do. And that's the difference when there's success. The people in the beginning don't care or look at you as you're the artist. We have a job to do. I don't care. You ain't gonna speak to me crazy. I know who you are. And that's the difference of, even as when Ray said, David, Luke, Mel,
Jason,
keep you grounded because you're still a person. DMX is a star. Kiss, you're a star. Jason, Earl, you're the person I know, and that's the person I'm talking to.
Yeah. Right.
But as in anything, that's why that's why he's saying like that, because don't get it twisted. Ruff Ryders is still our family, but it's just certain things of, even look at these guys, just things of people, and you would never know unless they have to tell you.
Right.
So that's all.
Got you. Okay. Shout out to Mel. All right. Yeah. Okay. Wow. That's a lot. But yeah, you pretty much have. Yeah. You. we heard things. And these are things we've heard. Yeah. Thorazano. I'm speechless right now.
And it's not to knock anyone down.
Not knocking anyone. Love and respect. Not knocking anyone. Is it love and respect for you?
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
It's just certain things I just don't tolerate no more.
Right.
I don't have to be in your presence, but I do respect how we started this. I just don't like how we ended it.
Yeah. Right.
When a man's being buried and everybody ignores it.
Yeah. Right.
Other than that, we were good in the beginning. There was a formula.
Yeah.
D had the studio. I had the record label, him and Siobhan. The management thing was all done. And anytime an artist was being moved, a meeting happened and everybody played their role.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you think Bloodline would have worked out had it continued, and really, why didn't it continue? Was it those incidents? I heard other things happened as well, which maybe that was rumor stuff, but
I wasn't always on the day-to-day of Bloodline because, X wanted me to, but I was like, I'm doing the management side, and I should have took on the responsibility of also doing the label. Yeah, because Dame did it, other people did it.
Uh-huh.
I just was like, nah, that's not where I wanted to focus at that point in time. And the collection of artists that he picked, and they weren't spending the time in the studio to develop themselves and get out there where they needed to be. You know, he had maybe two of them that really could have turned into something. And Bizarre was definitely one of them.
Absolutely. Shout
You
out
know
to
what I'm
him.
saying? And then Cashmere, you know, she was a beast on the mic.
Uh-huh.
And Big Stan was there too, but it's just things that needed to happen, and it didn't get developed the way it should have.
Yeah.
So doing the two soundtracks, which we did, Cradle to the Grave was under them. No, not Exit Wounds was under Barry and them. But the soundtrack, and I think they did a compilation for the label. So that was that, and we never got to put an artist out. And my whole thing was, let's start with Bizarre.
Yeah.
He was different,
Uh-huh.
eclectic. You know, he could have took on a whole persona.
Rock and rap.
Yeah. But the funniest part about that, when we were doing X's, is our albums. Rich Keller was our engineer in the studio. And a lot of people know Rich. And Rich came in the office one day to Leor and all of us and said, "Yo, I got something I want everybody to hear." He put all the X's first two albums together and put it in a rock version. Shit was crazy. He never put it out.
Wow. So there's a rock album out
Yeah,
there.
basically.
Wow. That's crazy. We got a lot of X.
And who has that?
material.
Where,
I think Ruff Ryders and them might have
Okay.
it, but I know Def Jam, Ruff Ryders, and of course Rich Keller, the producer engineer, he probably has it. But they never put it out.
so it was a rock version of the first album, second album, or a album?
A rock version of the mixtures of the hits of the first and second album.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Was that after Limp Bizkit tour?
That was before Limp Bizkit tour. Limp Bizkit.
Do you see a future where X is not memorialized, but you know, we have AI now, but we have real video. We have X. We have literally, recordings of X music, X, and so on. But we also have AI that maybe we can match the visuals up with it. Do you see that?
I can see it happening, but it has to be done with the right people in place.
A budget.
Just don't, like, even now the estate and the baby mother, so to speak, they trying to put out an album. What is the purpose? What is behind the album? What's the gear to the album? If you're just putting music out, it's gonna be like that last album. It didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, and it's sad because when X let me hear that last album before he died, the order he had it in, I think it would have done very well. Then they went back and did different shit, and I think that's what killed that album.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right. Is there anything else you wanted to talk to us about? I mean, you know, I don't want to keep you too long. I mean, yeah, sure.
What was DMX and Jay-Z's relationship?
Oh, shoot. There you go.
That was my next
Seer
question.
got the. Okay. What was the relationship between DMX and Jay-Z like?
DMX and Jay had a great relationship in the beginning. When Jay became the president of Def Jam, that's where the little tisk came, because X didn't feel like he should be taking orders from an artist that was on his level, or he thought he was above. So he said, "Yeah, I can't do this." So Jay basically was like, you know, this is what I can do. And I was in the building that day, and he called me in, and he said, "Yo, if X wants to leave, he can leave." And basically, he said he can leave debt free. So between me, D talking to him, X left Def Jam debt free. But the best part about it was a clause in the contract, like if he came back to Universal, it kicks back in. Died coming back to Universal. So the $1 million, I don't know if the $15-16 million came back or what came back, but it was conversion to, if you came back to Universal,
Right.
the debt would kick back in.
Now, jeez, having a
And the other beautiful thing was, then one time we was renegotiating on the second album, and X didn't understand publishing very well. So between us and the lawyers, we sat there. I said, it's as simple as I can break it down to, because I used to work in a bookstore when I was in college, McGraw-Hill or whatever book company. They published the book. All the writings inside of the book are you.
Right.
So why am I giving 50%? So, no, it's actually after the first album, actually. And he understood it just by that simple thing. So in the negotiation, I put in there somewhere somehow, like with the success, he gets back pieces of his publishing, which they have 50% of in the beginning. He gets pieces back with the every platinum stack he hit. So X basically got his publishing back off the second album.
Gotcha.
Right.
So the estate lives, and the kids will have something because X owns 50% of his publishing. And even Universal came to us with a publishing deal, and we didn't I said, we're not going to do the publishing deal. You can do an admin deal.
Okay.
We still got good money from the admin deal, but any other manager, I think, would have took the deal, because X got offered $100 to $107 million for his publishing, and we turned it down. Everybody bugged out. It's like nobody never turns down publishing deals like that. Eminem sold his in the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, Biggie got his taken like robbed, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, other people sold their publishing early.
Yeah.
Right.
X never sold his publishing.
Wow.
He did admin deals.
Nice.
You know, even with the movies, after we did those first successful movies, Joe Silver offered us a 5-picture deal. But the animal that X was, and the craziness that was going on, I didn't take the 5-picture deal because Joe would have fucked them. Because if he'd have fucked up, anything would have fucked up, they could have been like, "Oh, we're gonna do a movie," and I couldn't take your movie. They would have had First Writers refusal for us to do any movies. So we left him a free agent, which was the best thing for him. And Joe said, "Ray, you did the best thing for X." Because later on they had a riff, and he said, "I would have did it." Nope.
What was the relationship with DMX and God? Because when he passed away, everyone remembers his closing with the prayer, and I was like, that will be remembered forever with DMX's legacy. So can you explain a little bit about how that came about, his relationship with God, and to spread it to the world?
So what was DMX's relationship with God?
Yeah. Well, DMX, like I said, was raised. Basically, my sister raised him in Jehovah's Witness. So DMX knew the Bible early on in life. His grandmother, Mariella, had a relationship with God. So X grew up with the Bible and religion in his life. So he married it, and he kept it into everything he did. And when he did it on the first album, everybody was like, "Oh, he's doing a prayer," but that became a part of his persona. So he gave God to the world through him. He said, "God gave me this. I got to give it back to the world."
Yeah, and he
He
also
grew with a relationship with God.
right. He had a dual side to him though. Like he had the song Damien and others, and I mean he did a song with Marilyn Manson. I remember that clearly because Marilyn was wow. At that time.
Marilyn
He
Manson.
always said I had to fight the demons out of myself. So those type of records was him fighting the demon within himself.
Yeah. So what's next for you? Let's
I think the marriage in the movie world is coming back up on me, but
okay.
being that this is really Uncle Ray's real first interview, my next step, you get the exclusive when I do it.
Okay. Say less, man. I just want to say, man, I appreciate you. I thank you. It's not easy being a hidden figure. It seems like it's
that.
right. It's not. Hey, I'm gonna copyright that. But no, it really isn't.
Especially right now.
Especially now, man. Especially now because it seems like, social media and all these other things, people are able to create perception, create the narrative, tell the narrative, and shape and mold what people think.
Totally.
And those that are in the, behind the scenes or in the shadows, so to speak, may be completely overlooked or do not get their just due. And I'm glad you stepped up to reclaim and restore the narrative a little bit with us.
And I appreciate you and thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Right.
Anybody I forgot that I talked about the stories with, don't get me wrong, I love all y'all, but
Right.
this is Uncle Ray's first.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
You good.
Nothing
you
but
came to the
love
right
for
place,
Yeah,
man.
good.
We the authentic voice of hip hop.
That's right.
Let's just get that clear. We the authentic voice of hip hop.
and that's what my sister from college told me, Juan, which y'all call Althea.
Mm-hmm.
We went to college together.
Right.
So that's my girl, and I love her for it. Thank you so
Right.
much.
You doing a book?
That's coming.
All right.
Books
All right.
on the
Books
way.
on the way. All right.
All right, you can help me with my book.
And I got a good friend. My partner I told you about that helped me, Jermaine Miller.
Okay.
She's a publisher, so
Okay.
Okay.
she's guiding me through mine. And I've kept a journal almost all my life, so
Mhm.
it's going to be easy to put my book together.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Okay.
All right. Can you do us a favor? Look into that camera. Give a shout out to all hip hop. Say your name and who you are, blah, 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 and just shout out all hip hop. Yeah.
Uncle Ray, shout out to AllHipHop.com. One love. Blue, baby. To the Alpha.
We in the house too. Shout out to the Sigmas though. They my brothers.